Yo, what up, Kyle? Waiting on Caspian.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I'm just fucking chilling, man. Just starting the stream up, just making sure we live.
Yeah, I see these Japanese ads right now.
Yeah. And we are live. I'd like to welcome everybody to the second installment of We Are In This Bitch. Got my boy Kyle with me.
Yo, 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 yo,
Kyle
yo.
about to
We're
have
jamming.
a nasty little production session with our boy Caspian. Waiting on him to pull up. But before they do that, we gonna have a little discussion about some hot topics. You know what I'm saying? About shit in the music industry, stuff that's changing, new shit. Cause it's all happening, man. And we gotta keep up with it all. Cause we're musicians ourselves, and engineers, producers, and all that. So we gonna get into it in a minute. I'm also waiting on allegedly Jason Joestar is also on his way. We'll see.
Ruben went to the gym.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. Boy, Ruben might drop in on us as well. He's currently, staying fit, keeping his life together. You know what I'm saying? But hold on, I'll pause the beat for a minute. Are you still recording in the same area we were at your place, Kyle?
Yeah, my aunt's house.
Like still in the kitchen area?
Yeah,
That's so fucking cool. I love that. You just
I
like,
never-
yeah, on
I
one
never
side
took
of
the
the
setup
bar,
down.
it's music. On the other side, it's food.
yeah. Like I never even took it down. I was like, my aunt really doesn't come down here, so I just
I mean,
kept
yeah, if
it
she's
set
not
up.
using the space, you're kind of at freedom to use it as you would, right?
Right. Yeah, so I've been making a bunch of jams while it's been set up like this. It's been just super. It's been my nicest home setup I've ever had.
That's nice, man. That's dope.
And then with Jason's bass here, like it's been like literally just functioning almost my dream setup. You know
Hear
what
that,
I'm saying?
guys? This man Kyle's been slapping the bass, going crazy.
I wish I could slap the bass.
He can. That's why he's excited about it being there. Don't let this man be humble. He can slap it a little bit.
I'm just making tracks. You know, I'm just glad I'm doing all live tracks right now. That's what I'm. Oh, I did tear down the drum set. I've been finding drum loops and making drum loops, but everything else is live.
Hell yeah.
That's what I wanted. I wanted to ditch the VSTs.
I don't blame you, man. I mean, analog is cool. I'm just better at, or I've just had, I guess, maybe had better experiences with VSTs over analog
The
stuff.
piano roll makes it very worthy.
Yeah.
Being able to use the piano roll is very like, oh my god.
Oh yeah, that's huge.
It is. It's huge. It's very huge. So I don't blame people for using VSTs.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great, cheaper alternative to getting analog stuff, honestly. Like, if you can't afford the analog stuff and you know that you can either, or you already know how to use it, or you can learn how to use the MIDI and VST shit.
Right.
But honestly, I'm a proponent of either. Whatever works for you, whatever you have at your disposal, whatever you like better, use that shit.
Man, ever since I started using this keyboard, it's been kind of a game changer. And having the bass.
For real.
Oh, huge game changer.
I bet. And now you have mixed in keys, so you can, keep in.
I know, dude.
track
The
of
mixing
whatever
key,
key any
dude,
of your
like,
shit is.
it's so clutch. It's so fucking clutch, dude. I use it all the time.
Bro, I'm telling you, that shit literally makes my workflow so much better because someone can send me anything. They can be like, hey, do you have something you can add to this beat? All I have to do is check the key and I can add whatever I want. It's crazy.
Bruh, thank you again.
Oh, no,
That
no worries,
shit's
man.
changed. That shit's changed my life
It's to both of our benefit, my G.
for sure. I've recently been fucking with multi-band saturator. and that shit is
Bro, yeah,
making
that shit is clutch.
dude, that shit makes any vocals sound good as fuck.
Yeah, it's good for like fattening up the mids and highs of like some vocals.
Like I was fucking with saturators before, but now I've recently fucked with multi-band saturators, and I'm like, holy shit,
Yeah,
this
you
is
can really you
it's a
can be a
game
lot more
changer,
surgical. You can be a lot more precise with it.
dude. It's a game changer.
All right. Well, I guess we can go ahead and start some of these videos. We can go ahead and start reacting to we're going to check out what this sound trap shit is all about. With apparently Spotify has released this streaming platform, or not streaming platform, but production platform where you can literally just use um, clips or anything from any DAW from multiple people, like across, the internet. You can drag and drop files to basically collaborate in real time in a single DAW in real time, which sounds crazy. Like we're definitely living in the future, but I definitely want to learn more. See what's going on here. Why does my fucking Firefox look weird? Hold on.
Why are you using Firefox?
Hey man, man has his reasons.
You're stuck in the early 2000s.
Yes, dude. I'm a
You never
nostalgic
you never
motherfucker.
switched
Okay.
to Google Chrome. You never switched to Google
I
Chrome.
have Chrome on here is the thing, but I just don't use it.
You actually never made the switch.
I did. I mean, I use Chrome sometimes. It depends on what I'm doing. But let me see. There should have been. I don't know why the window is looking weird as fuck right now. Let me just minimize it real quick. Or it could not minimize.
Some of you may
I
have
mean, that's cool too. Fuck me, right? Damn. Mozilla's like straight up failing right now. That's funny.
On stream.
On stream, yeah, like literally just like failing. Like, hey man,
It always fucks up when you need it.
for real, man. Like, how you gonna do this to me?
Sounds
After
like you need
everything
Google
we've been
Chrome in your
through,
life. Sounds like you need Google Chrome in your life.
sounds like you need to shut the fuck up, Kyle. I'm just kidding.
Google
Alright,
Chrome,
here.
man.
Previous session. Boom. See, it's working perfectly, Kyle. You don't know what you're talking about, okay? It is working exactly as
never
intended.
happened.
It's perfect.
Never happened. Nothing ever happened.
Nothing ever happened. All right. Let's see what this guy has to say about Soundtrap.
That in the past videos I have been trying out different DAWs. A couple weeks ago I tried out FL Studio, and last week, I think it was my last video, I was using Ableton Live. I was having a few limitations using Studio One, and I was researching if there was
I'm going to say this off riff. I hope this platform pushes people like FL and Ableton to basically allow online capability like this so people can join in on your session and add
Facts.
stuff in real time, because that would be lit.
Facts.
was maybe a better option for me. And when I was doing my research, I found this. This is Soundtrap. Apparently, this is owned by Spotify, and this is supposed to be a full digital audio workstation on your browser. And I'm very curious to see how it works. I honestly think it's not gonna be really good, but I'm gonna give it an honest try. And just so you know, I found some sources that say this thing is free. It has a free plan, but it doesn't have all of the features. I think you don't get auto-tune and you don't get automation, which is a deal breaker for me. You need automation and a couple
Yeah.
other things, but I
That's
think this
probably
is
why
my
it's worth
free
paying just the
trial, so I
$12 a
should
month.
have all of
Yeah,
the
it's kinda whack how
features
there's no
for the first
automation.
month, I believe.
Yeah, that's just the free version though. If you pay the $12 a month, you get everything. You get the vocal tuning and
Alright, fair. Okay.
you get
okay.
all the effects and all that shit, all the sound packs.
Alright. Word.
So it's like
Okay.
it's tiered, but they make it kind of fair.
Man, they
Yeah,
really
let's get right
fucking
into
make you buy that shit. They're like,
No, for real.
you wanna actually use the DAW?
It's like buy all this shit that comes with the DAW. Like, all right, if you're not really
The free
getting any
version,
choice.
you just put some analog in. That's it.
Yeah, that's literally it.
Shame.
Like you basically have to do everything in your own DAW before you even drag and drop it.
Right.
To it. I'm gonna make music, browse loops, patterns. Let's try to record my guitar first. So I guess add new track. Well, guitar and bass. Oh, this is a MIDI guitar thing. No, I need a guitar slash bass amp. No, I don't want it to use my laptop microphone. Oh my god, it's using my built-in microphone. And
Oh,
is it going to let
God.
me use my interface? I guess it will. And is it getting any input? Apparently not. Maybe I should plug in my guitar first.
I was gonna say, I
And
bet
now-
it's user error. I bet you it's user error.
Yeah,
Seems to be
for
working.
sure.
Maybe it would be better if I could hear what I'm doing. I
Nope,
can't hear
I know.
anything. If I turn on
Yeah.
my direct monitor on my interface, I can hear that I'm getting signal into my interface. And I can see that I'm getting the signal into the program here, but I can't hear anything. At first, I like judging DAWs by how easy it is to set up your interface and your audio. And so far, I can't figure it out. Like here, settings, you have MIDI settings, tuner, merge tracks, sound quality, but monitoring is not available for some reason. If you need a tutorial to get audio coming out of the program, it's not intuitive at all. I do see this icon here, volume check. This is very useful. If I'm using just my USB microphone, then yeah, I do need a little help getting the gain staging properly set up because I don't have a gain knob like in my interface. So start test. And apparently they dialed in my input gain automatically, which is pretty cool. So I have here this input settings, but I don't see output settings. And I have another gear down here, but it's just the metronome settings. Am I even able to use this with an interface? It seems like this thing wants me to use it with a computer microphone, so let's try to do that. Add new track, voice and microphones. Let's set the gain staging. Hi, I want to record audio and hear what I'm doing. Oh my god. I'm gonna try to record something and see if I can hear it later. I'm gonna go back to my interface here and let's record something really quick. I can see a waveform, that's something. So the audio is coming out of my laptop, not out of my interface. Maybe I'm supposed to control it using the Windows audio.
No, there's definitely,
let's
he
change
has to
that
go into the
to
settings
my
or something.
interface. Okay,
Yeah.
now I can hear it. However, I still don't have monitoring.
Because it's
I
working
don't
with
know
the
why.
browser.
Okay, let's
He's
ditch the
gotta
interface
set the-
altogether. I'm unplugging my interface.
Oh, he's using the
If
browser
I'm able
version.
here, I'm gonna
Yeah.
enable recording
I bet
on
you've
my
used the app,
microphone,
it, like,
my
lets you set
computer
it up.
microphone.
Yeah, the app would be different.
Still not available. So I just found this article from Soundtrap support. It says here, at the moment, the audio latency is too high on Chrome OS and Windows, which I'm using. So we've decided to turn it off. We are hard at work trying to reduce latency on all platforms.
Yeah, so it's just in the
So we
app.
hope we'll be able to allow monitoring for all of our users in the future. Monitoring is currently supported on Mac plus Chrome and iOS with the Soundtrap app. So basically, if you don't
Yo, this video was from 2 years ago, so that means that post was from 4 years ago. So they may have even fixed the web version at this point. Who knows?
have a Mac,
Yeah. True.
Although
true,
I'm sure,
True.
I'm sure they probably want to optimize the app over everything, which makes sense. But
I
still,
mean,
bet
yeah, it
they-
totally makes sense. I don't even know why this guy's using the browser version.
Yeah, like, dude, this isn't showing people how to use the app. You're using like the
Yeah.
web browser version.
Yeah.
or an iPad, or an iPhone, you. Yep, you for not being an Apple user. Wow. I wasn't expecting this. I actually wanted to make a song using this thing. The funniest part is that this article is from 2 years ago and they still haven't fixed it. I knew it wouldn't work. I dipped down, I knew it. I was expecting it to be bad, but I was hoping it would work. I guess I could use the direct monitoring from my interface and the metronome and see if they work together. Let's try to do that. That's very quiet. So, can I
Damn.
duplicate this track?
I know.
Homie could not get audio out. Could not get the signal. He's like, what if I use all the drive and the volume?
I know, dude.
Hold on.
Oh
Let me see when
my god,
this
that's
one was made.
hilarious.
So today I'm gonna be
Okay,
showing
this
y'all
one's more recent. So let's see what the fuck's going on over here.
a beat that I made on Soundtrap. It's my first
Shout
time
out
ever
Skippy.
using it.
I'm assuming
hope
that
y'all like it, so
Raider
y'all can go
Clan
use Soundtrap
hieroglyphic
on your
X'd
own.
out
So
vowel is
let's
the
get into
I.
it.
Skippy or Scappy or
First things
Scoopy
first,
or
I
Scoppy.
think it. I think
let
it
me
is
open up
Skippy.
Soundtrap.
No, I think it is.
and
I'm being
get to this
stupid.
beat. Soundtrap, there we go. The reason why I'm showing y'all a finished beat is because I recorded a video, came up with a nickname for me, where I should do a little short thing about how I got my nickname. Alright, stop telling me my shit is trash, bro. Damn, man, insulting. Word. So before the
He's
thing
also
fully
on the
loads, I
browser.
want to kind of show you what this DAW is working with.
Oh,
by the way,
maybe
I hope
it's
y'all
a
like my sweater,
browser
my
only
mom
app.
made it.
I don't know.
Anyways, if you look, we're gonna start from left to right. On the top left, you got file. You already know what that does. You could save stuff. You could export stuff. You could export, import. You could save, and you could go to new projects. You feel me? You can even go to your profile. The next thing will be edit. You know, you could do undo, redo, copy and paste. You also got the hotkeys, and they actually listed. I kind of like that. I like that they list the hotkeys next to the actual thing, so that you can
I know,
learn
dude.
as you like.
It's
use 'em.
hilarious.
That's fire. FL Studio. Word. Then they got the settings. This is
This
the
guy's
MIDI
kinda funny.
settings. Actually, since I use a Mac, I can't use it. So if you have a Mac, you gotta use Google Chrome, not Safari, because they are competitors. Then you got the tuner. You got a keyboard.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, I understand. All right, so we basically have to do everything through Chrome. So you should be happy, Kyle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to use Chrome to use this
Good.
app with you guys.
Good, bro.
He says
Jason,
good. Fuck
Jason,
you.
can you hear me? Jason,
Is Jason in here? Where'd
did
that
you know
fool
this
at?
man still uses Firefox?
I don't know if he can hear us.
I don't know either.
This fool texted me. Nah, it's just kind of crazy though. And stop hating on Firefox. We're gonna continue the video, Kyle.
Got the sound quality. You could make it like how you want to make it, but I think that'll take some of the bit rate out. And then they got the themes. You can do light or dark themes. You can also do that over here. And if you want to learn stuff, they have a tutorial section as well. And
Okay,
now
that's
to
pretty
get into
tight.
the
I
more
respect
actual
that.
details, these are your tracks. Like over here, it has a Logic Pro kind of feel to it. Basically, you got the things on the left, and then you got the full tracks, and then up top right here, you have the temp, like you got the time signature. So like, you know, the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and then this thing right here, I'm gonna click it and it's gonna turn white. This is to keep it in a loop. That's the loop thing.
It works just like Logic Pro.
Tracks.
Yeah, for
You
real.
got the master volume in the bottom
Ableton's
left.
like
You
that
got the
too.
record, all that stuff. On the bottom, you can have a metronome if you want. You can turn it off. You can set the key. Now that's mad fucking important. Like
You
that's
can
a
set the
beautiful.
key.
That's
That is
beautiful
fucking
tool right
crazy.
there. Because a lot of people don't really know music theory anymore. So having the key there is beautiful because you can be like, oh, this sounds off. I wonder why. Then you look at the key and you be like, oh, it's a D minor key, and I'm using fucking E, and D minor and E don't really mash up like that. So yeah, weird. If you click this music
So,
thing,
yeah,
you
weird.
can search a bunch of loop. This is fucking spectacular. I love it. Oh my gosh, the best
This
thing right
dude
there.
is either from
Yeah,
Brooklyn
so
or the
basically
Bronx
you can go in there.
Right. He's totally like
can
New
look
or
York.
at
Coney
stuff.
Island.
Like, say if I want a guitar or a vocal loop, you click
Or
that,
Staten
boom,
Island.
boom. Then it pulls up a bunch of vocal loops, and then it give you like the genre, whether it's R&B or hip hop, and that's fucking lit. Cause it's like, yo, this is some Omnisphere level shit right there. Cause with Omnisphere, bro, you could like really break it down to how you want to break it down, and this like you could break it down too. And then you play one of them. Hold on, I feel like my thing is. And then it should play, right? What's this? And then they got effects. The effects is not the best effects, so I would say, get it how you get it. Word. Yeah, that's it. So now I'm about to show y'all what's actually in my beat. So the first thing I did was find a guitar loop inside of the loop thing. The guitar loop sounds like this. Now, one thing I did learn about their loops is that the loops, when you drag them into the piano roll, it makes a MIDI layout, which is fucking phenomenal because nobody be knowing what like the notes are played on and shit like that.
Wait, really? If you take an analog track and put it in the MIDI?
Then
I was
the
just
next
I was
melody,
thinking I was like,
I
what?
actually used two different
That's pretty
bells. I
fucking
used
crazy.
a dark
You want
pluck, and then I used a higher pluck. It's called milk pluck if you want to use it when you use this. And yeah, I just felt like they complemented each other. This is what they sound solo, and then I'm gonna play with the thing. Alright, I'm not gonna play it solo. It sound ugly.
It sounds like
Yeah, so the do, that's the dark pluck, and then the D, like the higher
I know
part.
this video.
And then the third thing that I made was a chord. It was very simple.
Yo, is that Jason?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, what's good?
Yo, what was the title? What's the title of the video?
Is Soundtrap better than FL Studio?
Oh.
But it's literally just clickbait. Honestly, I don't care about the fucking title of videos anymore. Like, do you talk about the shit?
He hasn't even mentioned it. Yeah. I was like, wait, what? He hasn't even mentioned. But I mean, I just popped
He'll
in
probably
there,
do
though,
like
so.
a really superficial comparison at the end, and then be like, "Oh, that's gonna be the tagline for the video."
Yeah.
That's how I usually go.
Chord because
He did a
using
small
the
one
piano
earlier,
and
but
this
like,
with bad internet
Yeah, it was just like a
is
small nod though. That
crazy.
wasn't like.
So make sure you
a
have
real
good internet.
comparison.
Yeah, so I used a flute sound this time, or not a flute. It's called
But Jason, do you know about this DAW Soundtrap?
Nope.
All right, so basically, this is the future, dog. This is potentially how we're gonna be collaborating in the future, because it allows you to collaborate on a song in real time using the same session. Like you can drag and drop MIDI and audio files
What
from
the
your
fuck?
from your own DAW, and then you can all collectively put everything in the same DAW to build a song in real time.
Yeah, that's fucking insane.
Isn't that nuts?
That's fucking awesome. Damn.
But yeah, that's why we're like trying to get some info on it just to see what it's like. But it looks pretty fucking cool. It is a little pricey. It's $12 a month, but it comes with like packs and packs of like loops and one shots, and then you also get like effects, a bunch of effects and automation and vocal tuning and shit like that.
Yeah, if you're already doing it though, like us, it's not the biggest investment anyway. So
Yeah, that's not even that crazy. I mean, if you're really working on like if you're making like a track every week meeting up, that's worth it.
yeah.
I don't know how to read, bro. Just that's what it is. You see it on the screen. Don't tell me how to read. I mean, don't tell me to read it. Anyways, yeah, I used that and I
Don't
made a
tell me
nice
how to
little
read.
chord. Cool. So that's what that sounds like. It just brings a like subtle vibe to the beat and just kind of carries that emotion from the actual loop into the rest of the beat. Now I got the drums. I'm gonna open up the actual drum pattern thingy. Actually, I'm gonna just do this. So the
Oh hell
drum
yeah, it has a
pattern
sampler.
again looks like
damn,
this.
yeah, this is actually kind of sick.
What the fuck? That's fire,
This
actually.
is actually kind
That
of
shit
sick.
raw.
It's kind of confusing, but not really if you know what you know. So this is the full thing.
You
These are
know
all the
what you
elements that I
know?
have in the
Okay.
pattern.
I
So
know,
I have
right?
a kick,
Guess
a
I'm good.
snare,
These
I
young
have
niggas.
hi-hats,
You know what I
shots,
know.
I know what I know,
what you
so
call
it must
that?
be pretty
I got
simple.
a hi-hat stutter and I got another percussion. It's called high tom. High tom. The kick I just laid out. Hi-hats I did regular. I'm actually gonna like interject some stuff in here now just because I feel like I want to spice it. Oh, never mind. I ain't gonna touch nothing else. I ain't
Oh,
gonna
never
touch nothing else because it just jumped a certain way and I ain't like it. Mind you, it took me like 2 hours to make this beat and this is very simple. This is what the drums sound like.
Yo, kick is damn near non-existent.
I know. I was like, this pick is kind of.
I gotta
This
get to
pick's
the money.
kind of lame.
I gotta get to the bag. I can't be fucking with bitches.
Heck
Yeah,
It gives an
all of them
afterthought.
drags. I cannot pay on the pictures.
What is it?
On the mask.
What is this?
Ooh.
What are we watching?
I will.
We're learning about
Glenn's on radio.
Yes, GSR, bitch. Recognize, motherfucker.
Yeah, I know it's GSR. What y'all watching?
We're watching a video about Soundtrap. Soundtrap's going to be the DAW, how people might work together in the future remotely, because it basically allows you to take your own audio and MIDI and then, paste your stems into a DAW session that multiple people can
Pretty
collaborate
fine
on
looking.
in real time.
What?
Pretty fine.
Yeah, look it up. It's a Spotify product that they're pushing
Oh, it's
now.
from Spotify?
Yeah, it's a Spotify product, bro. And I hope what this does, I'm
Wow.
hoping what this does is push all the other DAW makers to basically allow session mode to allow collaborators in real time bring in their own stems so you can work on shit in real time remotely. That'll change the
Dude.
industry.
Yep.
Hmm.
Man, that would be
See,
absolutely nuts.
Spotify already has the servers for that because you got to think of the bandwidth.
Yeah.
The sheer bandwidth of just transferring music files like that, unless you're doing peer to peer between the apps.
I
Yeah,
didn't think about that. Yeah, they got some guap and some bandwidth.
for sure.
Changing the game.
Instead
So
of
you
streaming,
would
let's
have,
just have people make music.
I guess you'd have a
Dope.
cloud pre-uploaded, and then you could just kind of toss stuff in. And
Yeah, for
people can take
sure.
it still.
All right, I got a couple more videos we can look at. So this video right here is a video by what's that dude's name? Curtis something. Curtis, what is it?
Mayfield.
Curtis King TV.
Yep.
But yeah, this dude's a lot of, if you're a producer, you probably know about this dude. He gives out a lot of great industry and just music business advice. And he does cover a lot of hot topics and shit that's going on. But yeah, let's talk about why the music industry has officially lost its mind, as if it wasn't cleared before.
As far as the creative side, it's absolutely eligible because it was written by a human. What? This is the CEO of the Recording Academy.
DIY.
Fam, what a weird time to be alive. As many things as we can complain about, as many things are absolutely amazing, like the technology and the advancements in things like AI, there's always going to be something that makes you really scratch your head. It makes me want to go find my tinfoil conspiracy theory hat and put it on. Drake and The Weeknd, the AI version, their collab may be on its way to being at least considered for a Grammy. Drake and The Weeknd already don't rock with the Grammys, so the possibility of their unauthorized AI collaboration winning an award likely won't mend any fences. Still, that's the scenario Recording Academy CEO Harvey Mason Jr. is floating when it comes to the controversial Heart on My Sleeve. This song has been going absolutely bonkers on social media. Intrusive thoughts. You want to come out? How does a song go off as crazy as it does with two of the biggest artists of our time? How would a song like that go off unless it got the okay from the music industry in some capacity? Heart on My Sleeve, the AI-generated track that surfaced in April, featuring Fox lyrics from the Canadian megastars, but convincing enough to be a hit. Let's play the song real quick.
I came in with my ex like Celine or the flex, bumping Justin Bieber, the fever, and
That shit's fucked up, dude.
You can't tell me somebody from the music industry ain't excited as hell about this. The ghostwriter, I'm gonna talk about the ghostwriter in a second.
You can-
The anonymous human creator behind
you
the
got
track
something to say,
submitted
Zach? I
it
can
for
pause the
both
video.
Song
What's
of the
Hey,
Year.
pause it. You can tell it's fake. It's so
Yeah.
easy to differentiate. As soon
that's
as it
what-
hurt my eardrum, you could tell the
People don't
voice
even
is
care
fake.
about that though. Is the funny
Yeah,
part.
that's the thing.
That's-
Though.
You can
A lot of
definitely
a lot of casual music consumers, they don't care, bro. Like if it's something that's gonna go crazy, make their TikTok
That's
video
true.
go viral, they don't give a fuck, bro. They're just like,
That's
oh, this
true.
is a vehicle for
true.
me to be noticed.
Because they use an AirPods first off.
Not to mention, it's only been like 1 year since AI.
What'd you say, Ruben?
Said not to mention, it's only been like 1 year of AI.
Yeah, 1 year of publicly used AI.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, it's a weird ride,
And
man.
Best Rap Song for the 66th Grammy Awards next year.
Yo, this shit got nominated, bro, or got submitted. Not nominated, but somebody submitted this shit. Like, how does something like this, like, aren't you like infringing on the IP of Drake and fucking The Weeknd's voice by using them without their permission? Like, I'm confused.
Honestly, the whole idea of AI is like asking that question, right? Are you not infringing on every single source material that it's using?
Yeah, for real. That's my
Someone give
concern.
the link to Jake.
What? What'd you say, Jason?
I gotta get fucking Jake the link for the stream real quick.
Oh, bet, yeah. It's on both the Streamboat and the San Studios YouTubes. It's live on both.
Mason tells the New York Times he was impressed with Heart on My Sleeve. That is the person who is the CEO of the Recording Academy. The CEO of the Recording Academy said that he was impressed with Heart on My Sleeve as it opened up possibilities for their business and declared it suitable for nomination. As far as the
Oh my
creative
God,
side,
what a
it's
piece of
absolutely
shit.
eligible.
What an asshole. Like, he doesn't even care about, like, the legal ramifications of. He's like, oh, yeah, that's a hot song, and it has controversy
Yeah,
around
bro.
it. Ooh,
It's fucked up.
this will be great for
It's
my
fucked
award
up.
show.
Sounds like
Money talks.
money for me
Money.
and my friends.
It's like, sounds like money.
sounds just
Because
like
it was
money.
written by a
Great.
human.
Because
What?
it was written
This is
by
the
him,
CEO
you can
of the
steal
Recording
somebody
Academy.
else's voice.
What? If Ghostwriter earned just a nomination, it could spearhead the next evolution of artists, human songwriters who use other people's artily and fish-generated voices. Wow! Propaganda. I smell propaganda. Drake and Weeknd's record label, Universal Music Group, aka the ones that own everything, doesn't share Mason's enthusiasm. Mason. When the track was released, the label had it pulled from DSPs, leaving it to lurk in the internet dark recesses. The Grammy development offers the song, and others like it, a new light. The Weeknd and Drake have been boycotting the Grammys for years, going as far as to withdraw nominations and refuse to submit their own music. Here go your ghost man. And I'm not gonna lie to you, because I was so strong on AI and I was like, man, AI could be something that potentially helps us as independent artists, and who cares what they're doing in the industry? They're gonna abuse it and figure out how to not use it. We're gonna always have the creativity. However, what's stopping a Ghostwriter 977 allegedly of being an industry plant? Conspiracy hat activated. When I first got introduced to Ghostwriter, I was interested in his message. I followed it first because I thought he was just a rebel. I thought he was just somebody who was going against the machine. I thought he was going to be like, this is the revolution, based upon some of the things that he said. This is back in April. He said, I was a ghostwriter for years and got paid close to nothing just for major labels to profit. The future is here. Bro, who from who record label wrote this shit? Here to turn the industry upside down. Just because I don't get credit for my writing doesn't mean it's not difficult to be a ghostwriter. Cap, that's cap. That's cap. Isn't it very convenient that the ghostwriter of this has not only been able to exist, but continue to put out songs, has been able to still keep an account, matter of fact, a verified account, using voices that he doesn't have licenses for, even put it on streaming. Why is he not locked up? Do you know how many people got locked up just for downloading music illegally back when it was the Napster era? Some of them are probably just getting out. How is he able to just walk the streets and nobody's had an issue? Oh, but Curtis, Universal Music came down on them. That could be very well part of the plan. If you wasn't behind the plan, don't you think it's important that you look like you're against it? You ever have a family member or somebody that they got like sticky hands? You know what I'm saying? Like, say it's Christmas, you get a new present, and then before you go leave to go back to your house, the shit just disappear, and then they go help you look for it. That to me feel like Universal Music.
That would be some industry shit.
We don't believe in that. No, but we will help you find this culprit. Yes, we will. As he gets access and cosign from the CEO of the Record Academy. That doesn't sound weird to you? Nah, and I'm still not content till I'm dominating every single continent. My shit goes.
All right, he's doing a little plug real quick. Let me skip.
Plug.
Plug talk.
No, shout out to Curtis though. Definitely support his channel because he's definitely a great platform for discussing this type of shit.
So what would be the benefit if you allow this ghostwriter to have this song that they got no permission to make, at least not what the public has seen? If you do that and it's able to get as high as even a nomination, that is a step in the right direction from the eyes of the people who are pushing this, the record labels who are trying to create an entire industry out of AI so that they can get the computers that they've been trying to train humans into, but in real life, this benefits them. They ultimately want us to get to an AI music industry. Conspiracy hat on. I'm gonna tighten it up. How would that
Not gonna
benefit them?
last.
Because what is the
I don't
ceiling
think
on your
it'll last.
production?
I think
Your
legally
quality
it's
never
not
drops off.
sustainable.
Artists that don't even get along can collaborate with each
That
other.
and
You can
people are
see
just gonna not
collaborations
vibe
from
with it.
artists that are dead
Yeah,
and that are
it's gonna be
alive.
trash and
why
watered
would
down.
that be beneficial to a
Humans
record label?
we
Oh,
can just
because
feel
like we
that
heard
shit.
from the
You may
Nori
like
story.
it, we're not gonna
Because you know
feel
why?
it.
You
Yeah.
signed your life away for 3 times. That means you gotta die 3 times before you get a fucking royalty check. Yeah. Fuck.
Some of these artists
Wait.
that have died are still
Wait,
signed to their
wait.
deal.
That'd be
What deal is
fucked.
he talking about though? Whose
So
deal is he
no,
talking
bro,
about?
that's a real thing. Like basically,
Yeah, fuck.
some of these
3
labels will, like,
generations.
will fuck artists out of their masters and then be like, oh, you have to recoup this amount of money before you can start getting royalties on your masters.
Lil Pump.
It'll
Exhibit
basically be
A.
like an impossible amount unless you like are a miracle and you make several hits happen.
Yeah.
Pretty much Lil Pump right now.
Yeah, shit is fucked up, man. There's a lot of fucking shady, fucked up dealings in the major parts of the music industry, which is why
I give you
I
a
say we
360
do
deal.
everything
360 is
independently.
fucking own your life.
Yeah, bro. That's why I say always try to do everything independently and work with your homies, man. Build something with your friends, because the people in these, big important rooms or whatever do not have your interests at heart.
Nope.
3 lifetimes, some of them, I think he said, are signed to. 3 lifetimes. So that means that if you only died once, doesn't that leave the opportunity for AI to be another life under your contract? My spidey senses
That
are
would
telling
be
me this
fucking
ghost right.
Yo, if labels
Yep.
start doing that shit, that would be terrifying. Like that means like we live in the darkest timeline. Like that shit would be
Yeah.
fucked up.
AI is fucking getting money that is not even ours to other people, and it's arm fucking.
Literally,
Yeah, I'd be fucked.
it's literally
be
the
fucked.
music industry pimping out your voice, your art, your content out that you didn't even make, but
They
they're
want
using
the-
your
they-
likeness and image and voice to push a product that you're not going to be able to see the profits of. Shit's
Yeah, they
fucking
want
bonkers.
this.
Yeah, they want this shit because they're fucking psychotic.
It was not the revolutionary that he appears to be. It makes me feel like this is the first
And smoking
introduction of it.
tobacco.
You remember there was a point in time in hip hop where the politicians were the ones that wanted to censor and silence the art. Some pretty big meetings with the president that wanted to change the accessibility that folks had to hip hop. We're now living in a time where the politicians don't have to silence it because we cancel each other now. So if we're already canceling each other and we're already determining what's appropriate for our society, what do you make of that song, Heart on My Sleeve, taking off and people willingly putting it on their TikToks, willingly make it go viral, saying they want more, campaigning for those artists to release their rights to that song? This all feels so very orchestrated. I've seen enough wrestling growing up. Shout out to WWF. I've seen enough wrestling to recognize what's going on. I'll take my conspiracy hat back off. If you allow this AI situation to win a Grammy. If I'm an artist that is signed right now, I need to renegotiate my deal because it is very clear to me that you are
Yeah.
waging war. At least that's what it appears from just look. I don't got no skin in this one. I ain't worried about it. They ain't replacing nothing over here. I make the choice of whether or not I want to continue to make music. But
Facts.
how much value do you bring someone if they can get another you that can produce faster than you, longer than your lifetime, who can unlock versions of you that you're far
Who doesn't
removed
say
from?
no?
Say the 17-year-old version of Drake. They can get Degrassi Drake and have him rapping. Oh my gosh. When you have that kind of accessibility, what value are you to me? So now, thinking that when I zoom out, it makes this next narrative about hip hop make so much sense. It makes the conversation about diluting the music it makes so much more sense now. If we devalue the music, if we make you feel like the most popular genre of mainstream rap is not quite what it used to be, the shows is not selling, the artists are not quite the same, they're actually all sound the same, even though it's the system that they created, AI seems like just as good of an alternative as the artist being a better them. Allegedly. Those are my thoughts, though. I said a lot. Let me know what you think.
DIY.
Yeah, that shit is crazy, man. This fucking AI shit is low key out of control. Humans aren't ready for it. Like we're not. I don't think as a species we don't have enough foresight or responsibility or accountability to be fucking with that shit.
We're definitely not being responsible with it.
Nah, not at all.
We're still trying to catch up to phones, bro.
All right, I got one more hot topic video that you guys may find controversial. You may agree with it, you may disagree with it, but we're gonna fucking get into it. Do you guys think that using loops
Making a
is
beat with
cheating?
a pre-made.
I don't know about cheating.
Or actually, that's not even the question. I'm sorry. Do you think it's lazy?
What? Like if I
No.
get a loop pack?
Yeah.
Nah, loops aren't late. Prince would say loops
What's
are
the
lazy,
question?
but like
Is using loops lazy?
I think
Depends on the
I think loops are fucking awesome for people who can't use drum sets
Oh yeah, I'm
and
not talking
can't
about.
afford an MPC.
Well, yeah, I'm not talking about like just drums.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like melodies too, like coming up with whole like whole
So like
original
so
That's what I'm saying. It depends on
I
the
think
loop.
in the wild west of music, your end product is what matters because it's about how you move people. It's about how you vibe.
What's
It's
the
like
question? What's the question though? Not like the opinion. What's your
Is using loops lazy?
I don't think so.
lazy?
Yeah.
No, it's a tool. Like it's like saying is using a pencil or a calculator lazy.
I don't think that's
Yeah.
the same though.
It's all
No,
about how you use that tool.
I mean,
that's
think
not the
about it
It's
like
all
same.
about how you use
From a
that
tool.
tool.
all right, think about it though. Like you're writing a book, right? And let's say like the book
Sure.
has 4 chapters and somebody writes the first chapter for you. Is that lazy?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's different though. I
Not
think.
Wait,
necessarily.
no,
Like,
that's
it's
not
kind of
different at all. That's not different at all. But I also
That's,
I don't think it's lazy.
yeah.
I
That's wh-
definitely
It's not
think
lazy. You're
it's
I
kind
mean,
of
like
just
using other
loops.
ideas and tools to make something different is also
yeah.
art in itself,
Yeah,
right?
you said
But
have
it depends on
someone
how you're
write the
using those
first.
tools.
Yeah, you said have someone write the first chapter for you. This is like having ideas given to you, cause like you're not
But bro, I'm
like
talking but I'm telling y'all right now, like after, working at a company that sold prolific beat packs to very high status, musicians, there are producers out here who are literally dragging and dropping certain,
yeah.
melodies and
Oh yeah,
not really changing them
yeah.
not changing them up really that much and then passing it as like their own work. You don't think that's a
I
little
mean
bit lazy?
that's relatively lazy for sure, but I mean it's not
Yeah.
gonna get far.
That's really
That's
the
what
fundamental question, and it's not necessarily. I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing. It's just like, is it lazy?
Yeah.
Like, do you think that that's like
Yeah.
committing less
Yeah,
effort than
if you're
trying to come up with,
if you're making
your
the
own
whole
melody from
song that
scratch?
way.
It's like
Yeah,
yes
if you're
and
making the
no
whole
because they're
song.
just trying to
Yeah.
have workflow. It's like
That's
they could be
Do-
putting other work and like having to navigate all these things and like where they're lazy on that aspect, they're probably putting more on the others. But I
do-
do see the point. Like they're not really creating the same way, but they still
Yeah.
are having to taste test and like
yeah,
create other things. It's a really thin
that's
line.
that's
Yeah,
why I'm saying it
it's
just
a very
depends on the
thin
loop
line. That's
that you're
I think
using.
that's kind of
Hold
the
Like it
on.
just
point of the
depends on what
discussion.
you're using it for, how you're using the loop, what you're doing with the loop. Like it just has a really dependent usage. If you're just slapping loop, like
But
you're taking
again,
packs and just
I
slapping it together, like no,
Copy
like that's
pasting is
just
pretty
lazy.
bogus.
I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
it
Copy pasting
comes.
is pretty bogus.
You have to look back to when looping really started, and it was when people were like spitting discs, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so
But they're
people,
making the loop.
I mean, they
even
are.
when
Well, I mean, they're literally just kind of taking a loop. They back up, let it run. They back up, and then like they fucking scratch, and so that's its own art. But
Yeah.
it, you can't really.
It's tough. No,
It's kind
dude,
of hard.
it's a tough
It's
question.
kind
Like it's a very,
It's- I think
morally
what it
and
is that
philosophically
doesn't
loaded
it's
really-
tough.
question.
It's tough to consider what they're doing to be like their song. You know, if I had 2 records and I fucking was spinning them, and I made a new beat, like it's very hard to consider it their song. But like,
It's not. That's a mashup. That's a rework. Exactly.
Yeah, that would be a rework. That's the thing with like the difference between DJing and producing too. Like a lot of people conflate the two, and they're completely separate. Like DJing is about like making
Yeah.
mashups and having really cool transitions, getting the crowd turned up. producing music is about creating your own original thing. And yeah, there's sampling
You
involved,
gotta
and like sometimes you
you
do
gotta look at like
mashups, but
oh sorry. You gotta look at like DJing as like being a bard, essentially.
yeah, low
Because
key.
you're telling stories, you're showing songs, you're showing music, you're showing like
And you're putting your own spin on it,
Yep.
literally or figuratively
Yeah.
and literally.
But
Story, exactly.
there's one more thing. There's one more thing. There a lot of producers don't consider themselves musicians.
And that's
So
weird.
well, but they're
Weird
not.
for me.
They're not musicians if they're
Well,
just
yeah,
taking
that's
loops and
that's
piecing
another
them
thing.
together.
Yeah, that's another thing. There are a lot of producers who are either just like people who bring other musicians into a room to make something, or they might just be overseeing a project and
DJ.
like type of shit.
Honestly,
mean, like,
You
I
talk
have
about the man who brings out the cappuccino.
I have no hate. I have no hate on a producer using loops, but I will say loops are lazy for a musician.
For a musician, like if you're capable, like if you really have that talent and like you're choosing to forego that and you just want to make something easy to make some money, which I don't blame you at all like for doing. That's just a choice you can make. Then yeah, I think it's fair to call that lazy.
If I
because
hired
that person has the potential to make something completely original and unique that nobody else can find anywhere else, that potentially has more value because of that.
Yeah,
I
you
think
have to look at it in two ways. If I hired as like a studio musician to come do like a full song of guitar and he played me like 4 bars and he was like loop that, I'd be like, "What the fuck? Like you are lazy as hell." But if I hired a producer and he came in with an MPC and made me a bunch of loops for me to do something on, then like okay, it's just kind of two different jobs. I don't think loops are lazy. I think it's just its own criteria.
It's how
Yeah.
it's how you use them, bro.
Yeah,
That's the
it's
exact thing.
nuance. It's a question that requires a lot of nuance and like relativity, like what is happening specifically in any given context. Like is somebody just copying pasting, or are they just or are they like putting their genuine own spin on
Are they
it? Like they're
actually
pitching it
taking
in a
that,
unique
you
way.
know?
They're
And I just
chopping it a
also want to
certain way.
say that like laziness and being good music doesn't have to necessarily be mutually exclusive. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
That too.
you can
That
make
too.
good lazy
Yeah,
shit.
that's
you
what
know?
I'm saying. That's what I said from jump. Like that's not the question. It's about is it just lazy?
Yeah.
Like I think it's fair to
Yeah.
say like just it can be you can call it lazy and it can be lazy. I think it is lazy to me personally. Someone who makes most of his melodies from scratch, like who makes 90% of his melodies from scratch, I think it's lazy for a musician to copy and paste. But I'm not saying like someone who can like chop and flip and shit. I'm talking about just
I
copy
would
and
say
pasting a
this as
melody
a
and then
final
building
note,
around it.
because it's as much as it is lazy, it's kind of like okay. And when Jake was at Somatics, he mentioned this to me too, and it makes me think of Kuwabara when he first got his spirit sword. As corny as that is, you need like it's kindling to make a fire, right? You can use these preset loops and sounds, and they may be a little bit decent and whatnot. But if you don't flip it or add your own whatever to it, it's gonna sound lifeless, in my opinion, right? It'll sound lazy, right?
Yeah.
So ideally, if you take these ideas and you flip them or kind of navigate them, they give you an inspiration, or they're your muse, or they're your broken bowcan to make a spirit sword type shit, right?
Right.
So
Yeah, and
as
again,
much as
like
it can
I'm
be
not
lazy, you really gotta put yourself into it because I
exactly
would say
and again, I'm not. I don't think in this example we're talking about people who will go out of their way to be creative with it. I think we're just talking about copy paste producers, which there are many of them, and there are many at a high level who make a lot of money doing that shit.
that's wild to think that they're really making. I mean, if they are making a lot of money, their careers aren't gonna be long. Like
I mean, they might be if they make a
maybe
hit
they
for
get a
the right
placement.
person and they can just keep copying pasting like different melodies and keep getting away with it. Like why can't it be long?
Well, that's fair, but
There's a
here's the
couple.
thing:
There's
those
a
loops and
couple
those
like that.
beats, they're coming. Those beats and melodies and loops, they are coming from producers, mind you. They have deals with Splice, they have deals with Looper, and they're not getting placements, but they're getting paid by their own beats, and they're giving throwaways. You know, they're not giving the real sauce, of course not.
I
But
mean, some of them are giving away the real sauce because they think they made it. Like they're giving their stems to a established loop selling company. Like they think that
maybe,
they might
I
be
used
giving
to,
some
my
of their
opinion,
best
I just
shit.
think not. I
I
just think
used to
not.
hear about
That's my opinion, though.
who was it? DJ, Kid Ink,
Kid
and the
Ink, you got Big
DJs.
Head, you got Icy Twat. These are
Well,
all sleeper producers that are like not
no,
like
no.
known.
Hey,
But
time out.
producing
Let me finish my story here. Hang on.
so
You wrote it. Kid Ink is no Kid Ink. Kid Ink stole bars from like numerous people.
bar.
So
Oh, he's
like,
a producer
yeah,
or
his
like
producer
MC.
Ill Will would hit up people that liked his music, and they would take bars off these songs that people would submit to Ill Will, and that's how Kid Ink got started.
Are we talking
That's a
about like
whole other
bars of
story. That's a
music
whole
or
other
just
story.
like
Yeah,
lyrics?
Wow, that's
Are you
some
talking
good
about
shit.
music or just lyrics?
we're talking about lyrics, and it wouldn't
Oh.
surprise me that Ill Will did shit like that too.
Oh yeah.
People do all the beats too, probably though, man. Like,
Yeah, I just think, all right, before I start the video, my final thought introductory thought is just, I think it's okay to be
Yeah.
lazy and make some dope shit being lazy, but I don't think it's, necessarily a bad thing. Like, if you are doing it in a creative way, like if you're using a loop in a creative way that no one else probably would have thought of, then I think it's legit as fuck to use loops, because that's going to give somebody else a new idea to maybe make something from scratch that might be completely unique and original. Like, that type of shit happens all the time. But I do think it's lame when people try to pass themselves off as like this great musician or producer or whatever, when all they're doing is, copying, pasting stems that they took no time or effort to create, and they're just like aligning them in a way that sounds cool or that will sell, that a rapper could rap on or somebody could sing on.
Agreed.
I don't think loops is bad. I don't think it's bad at all.
Even in the way, wait, Kyle, even in the way I just described.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if I hired a producer to come in and he pulled like 20 things off Splice, chopped them up, made it dope as fuck.
Kyle, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
I'm saying not editing the stems at all, not chopping it, not flipping it, not changing the tempo, just copying, pasting, and then aligning it and arranging it in a way that is going to be catchy and will sell.
Okay, if I hired a producer and he came in and did that, I'd be pretty pissed. I'd be like, I need some sauce.
That's the point. Yeah, that's the point. I think the overarching point that I think makes it more controversial is because there are producers out here who be doing that shit. Well, let's see what DJ Payne has to say about this shit.
I guess it's just I'll say loops are lazy if you're not adding sauce, bro. You gotta
exactly.
You
have to add your own sauce.
You gotta add sauce.
It's like cooking without. It's like cooking without seasoning or sauce, bro. Like it's bland.
I'm lazy. I'm very lazy when I cook. I'm very lazy. Very lazy when I cook.
Gotta add
sauce.
Well,
you gotta have salt or sauce,
grab
bro.
a loop,
One of them.
program some drums over it. We know it's a little lazy, right? Does that mean I haven't done it? No, I've done it plenty of times. Does that mean I'm gonna stop doing it? No, I'm gonna keep doing it. And should I care what other people think? I don't want to feed the trolls, but sometimes the trolls come up with some pretty compelling topics for these videos. I've been getting a ton of comments from one guy in particular who's critical of my use of loops. I don't hide it. I make loops. Oftentimes when I'm making a loop and then it's time for me to make a beat, I either use my own loop or I just go on Splice or get some loops from Kavi or Dream Life or whoever sent me cool stuff that day. This guy was upset that not only I use loops, but that I use an arpeggiated lead in so many of my tunes. It'd be funnier if that was a sample that I'm hooked on. No, it's
See, shit like that, like people just being super extra out about shit like that. Like, bro, every single fucking beat has an arpeggiated lead in like rap, trap, and drill music. Like every single fucking beat has an arpeggiated lead. Like, get the fuck out of here.
It's just how it's just what happens. It's like this formula works. I can,
Exactly. Once you learn different formulas as you do this shit, you can decide, oh, this will be like an arpeggiated lead beat. This will be like a more bass, leading beat. Like.
All my favorites arpeggios back in the day. I couldn't stop because it just worked, and I was like, "This just happened naturally."
People be so like,
do something different.
People be like over the top gatekeepy for stupid shit.
It's
dude, 135s and all that, dude. That's all.
It sounds great and it works.
And it sounds great. Like almost every time.
Yeah.
It's an ARP. This guy doesn't watch my videos because I've actually explained how to program it. It's pretty simple, but God forbid I have a signature sound. So this guy espouses all kinds of goofy ideas about production beyond just criticizing someone for having a signature sound. Like, this is a super long comment, and it comes from a whole conversation that I stepped out of because it was just dumb. Basically, my beats are trash. I'm lazy. I'm using other people's pre-made loops. All my beats are rudimentary and tritone-esque. It's all simple, and he's shitting on hip-hop because, these elitists always want to shit on hip-hop. The dopest producers on the planet are pompous, Eurocentric internet trolls. Most of it's super simple stuff.
Yo.
I wasn't.
That's a fucking fact he just said, bro. There's so many people who are like elitists and want to shit on hip hop all the time because they say, "Oh, rap isn't music. You're not singing. You're just talking." Like, I fucking hate people who say shit like that, bro.
Busting his balls, blah, blah, blah. It's not that deep. Saying it's not that deep after spending a bunch of time leaving a whole bunch of comments on my videos. Let's see how many he's actually left. 17. Saying it's not that deep after obviously giving some deep thought to a very stupid topic is like starting a racist rant with, I'm not racist, but I can't help but think that the guy is bored and resentful and insecure because he probably feels like he deserves more notoriety than I do. And so it's crummy that I have more notoriety than he has, and this is just an expression of that. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's how it feels. If that's the case, I feel bad for him. I'm sure he's a virtuoso. I'm sure his beats are full of complex chord structures and amazing, impressive solos that are all in challenging scales, you know, really unique sounding stuff, right? Okay, so it's not hip hop. He's a I don't know, bass music? I don't know what to call this. Bass music now? But of course it's about to get crazy. It's not just going to sit on this single note the whole time.
I
There's
know
no
what
way.
this person looks like.
What would y'all categorize this music as?
Bro, okay.
It's generic.
Motherfuckers that use the words glitch and like trip hop.
It's very, very just.
It's neural.
Neural tech.
Neural tech.
I mean,
Very
his
neural.
name.
Yeah,
That's the
bro,
guy's name.
It's
IDM. It's IDM, intelligent dance music.
intelligent.
Keep
That's
playing it.
hilarious. Oh,
Oh
Let me
my
skip.
god. It's IDM, bro.
I have
Still
a
on the
friend
same
who does
note.
IDM. Well, actually, this is called robosynthesis.
Shut the fuck up.
Probably sounds rudimentary.
Internet trolling.
Carlos Kimmy here talking about this is actually called robosynthesis.
Oh, what a great
I'm
fucking
fucking
cameo. What up,
done.
Los? Welcome to GSR, dude.
Yo, welcome to fucking GSR.
さんラジオ
Fucking in here, man.
Oh
All right,
my
let's fucking continue the video.
That guy's
Aside,
lead
a
up,
lot of
though.
producers
I
claim
heard
that
that beat,
using
and
loops is
I wish
lazy.
I saw
Look, I'm
everyone's
not gonna.
face when that beat dropped.
You wish you heard what, Jason?
I just think I wish I saw everyone's face when that beat dropped because I know we all were just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, just like, all right, this is mid as fuck. What was your point?
argue against that. But isn't laziness often the word we use to describe working smarter? If you're in a session with Scott
True.
Storch, is it lazy to allow him to handle all of the piano work like Dr. Dre did? Is that lazy? Is Dr. Dre lazy for doing that? Or is Dre just a smart producer who is resourceful and knows how to utilize his time, energy, and resources in a productive way that effectively makes classic records and brings the best out of the artists he's working with and the producers and session players that he's working with? Tons of legendary producers utilized session players. They themselves weren't playing the instruments that you hear on these classic songs. This is what I mean. Who cares? Sometimes you hear a loop that is just so dope you want to use it as is. Sometimes you flip it. Sometimes I'll use a loop one way and then a year later I'll completely flip it into an entirely different sounding track. Now, this happens a lot with the loops that Kabi sends me, and he just dropped a new pack called Elements of R&B. Look, I use this loop as is. I changed the pitch a little bit, but come on, guys. What would you do if you heard this loop? Like, I'm using this. I'm just using it. I don't even feel bad. And that's actually one sound of over 3,000 that he just dropped in the Elements of R&B Mega Pack. It actually contains 7 different sample packs within it. So it's not just a sample pack. I called it a Mega Pack. This is what it looks like. Look at all these sounds.
Wow, they literally have the same layout as
it's a lot of
Cymatics.
stuff.
That's crazy.
MIDIs, vocal packs, one-shot starters. The loop that I just played for you in the beat that I just made is from this pack. I've used a couple loops from this pack, and I don't feel guilty about it. And as a matter of fact, if you want 30% off this pack, that again contains
There's the
over
plug.
3,000
I was waiting for the
sounds.
plug.
Then I put a link below in the pinned comment and in the descriptions.
Well, you got to think,
God.
like, he actually makes money using these packs. So, like, him plugging it is, like, beneficial to not just him and, like, whoever's
For
doing
sure.
it, but, like, he actually
He
uses
just
these
did it
products to
smooth.
make
That
money.
was just smooth.
We're at 5
So
minutes,
get
bro.
that
5 minutes on
and
the
be
plug
lazy
talk.
along with me, or don't. You know, you can flip these and do all types of crazy stuff with them. I would also make the case that a lot of times what we perceive as lazy is just relative to a person's ability, right? So a lot of the people that say sampling or looping is lazy can't actually make a good beat using samples or loops, especially not when
True.
you're talking about more advanced manipulation. Think DJ Premier or Daft Punk, really advanced sampling techniques. But have you ever seen somebody make a 100% original beat and it seemed very easy in spite of how maybe complex it was compared to what the average producer is able to create? I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here's Chop Squad DJ working on What Happened to Virgil. Look how quickly he pulls this off. I'll be honest with you, it takes me longer to find a decent splice sample than it took him to come up with that progression. Does that mean
Hell
what
yeah.
he did was simple? No, because most producers can't play keys at that level. But the fact of the matter is, it appeared very simple because of his level of expertise and experience. Now, what does that mean for this discussion? Does that mean that if I learn to play a chord progression that thousands of other people have played before me, I'm a better producer or I'm a more legitimate musician than someone who uses a loop that's based off that very same chord progression? I mean, think about the 1-5-6-4 chord progression. Pretty lazy, right? But hit songs continue to be made using that exact chord progression. Can you make that more interesting and better? Yeah, you can. Are there more classic hit songs made to that chord progression, that exact same chord progression, than I can count? Yes, there are. So go call those people lazy. You see how this conversation is pretty silly? What it really comes down to is a childish battle of egos, which ultimately doesn't matter to the listener, right? No one cares, because how it impacted the listener is what matters to the listener. These producers are having these dumbass conversations by themselves in their rooms on their phones. This has nothing to do with the people
Hey, man, we're talking about this on our Discord. That's pretty important.
who are actually consuming the music and being
Oh, there you go.
impacted by it. Let's
I
talk
like
about
the
hip hop classics. Ooh.
What'd you say, Ruben?
Gang, gang, gang.
Gang, 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 gang,
It
gang.
says producers have egos. Is that true? Do you
Is it
like
true
those,
that-
Glad?
Is it true that
I like
producers only eat Eggo waffles?
Oh,
I saw it on a YouTube
Ooh,
video. I didn't
this
watch
is scary
it. I just
territory.
read
I
the
didn't
We
watch
don't want
it.
to
I
go
just
there,
saw
right?
the
Today Was a
headline.
Good Day by Ice Cube, Loop. Juicy by Notorious Big, Loop. Wu-Tang Clan, Cream, Loop. Who's going to disrespect the producers? Who's going to disrespect those songs, period? These are classics. The fact that they're based on looped up 4 to 8 bar sections of a sample has no bearing on what those songs mean to the culture or to the people that listen to them and that continue listening to them to this day. And I already know what some producers are going to say, but back then you had to dig for those samples. Let's be realistic. Juicy Fruit was based on a sample called Juicy. That was a gold record. That was a hit song.
Literally.
This wasn't obscure. Today Was a Good Day was based on an Isley Brothers song off a 2-time selling platinum album called Go For Your Guns. You didn't really have to dig that deeply for it. It just sounded good and it impacted people and it was used in the right way by a producer I respect. Wu-Tang Clan? All right, less so, but it was a sample of the Charmels, who were also known as the Dixie Bells, and they were associated with a lot of big, Anita Kerr, they were associated with Isaac Hayes, they were associated with, and they had 2 Billboard Top 100 hits. One was number 15, one was number 9. Again, if you really feel like you want to waste your time arguing about the validity of loops versus samples, looped samples versus pre-made loops, I hope this is a hobby that you're getting paid for, because otherwise it's just absolutely a waste of your time and energy. Now, I'm going to admit something else. As someone who makes loops, I used to get annoyed when I would hear somebody just use my loops as is and add drums to them. I'm like, I wanted to flip. Realistically, though, good drums can transform a sample of mine into something amazing, something that I couldn't have done. Sometimes that's exactly what you need to create the best possible song. My philosophy is make what you love, make what sounds good, use your resources wisely, and if it impacts the listeners, then you did your job as a producer. And I don't give a fuck about what producers in this internet echo chamber have to say about that practice. I care about the listener. I care about the music. I care about the feeling I get from the music that I create. And I'll end on this. This is a positive thing. This is the ultimate irony about loop-based producers. They create jobs for musicians, for legitimate musicians, as the haters call it. So if you care about pianists and singers and guitar players and instrumentalists in general, then you should love producers who use pre-made loops. These loop-based producers are creating a whole economy for them. Getting them placement money, getting them sync money, getting them splice money, getting them sample pack money, getting them session fee money. So why be angry at that when it helps feed the ecosystem of musicians in general? I mean, we know why, because people are bitter, people are angry, people hate hip hop for one reason or another, people are frustrated with their own careers, which is a crying shame, because to the people who don't care and who don't let this stuff bother them, making music, regardless of the process you use, is really fun, and it brings a lot of peace and happiness into your life, and it impacts people who listen to it in ways that you can't even imagine. There's no better feeling than seeing a reaction, a positive reaction from a listener to something that you either created yourself or contributed to. So if you're going to focus your attention on achieving any feeling, focus on that rather than winning an argument about using loops when none of it matters. Make great music. Be happy. Much success to you. Peace.
Facts.
Fucking facts.
Freaking facts right there. Yeah.
Fucking facts right there. You just
Oh,
dropped the
man,
truth
don't worry.
bomb.
Different category. I give it up to.
Shut up, Joe Budden. That was another video I pulled up, but we don't need to watch that.
Joe Budden didn't even want to shut up on that one, bro.
But damn, yeah, that's definitely I think a good subject to breach, because a lot of people have a different opinion on that. But like DJ Payne said, it's about the feeling, man. And as long as you're not just like ripping off ideas of people and then passing it off as your own, I think it's cool.
He is not wrong. That if you satisfied the listener, then you did your job.
Yep.
Balls.
But I do think, to play devil's advocate, I do think that to the point of musicians who might have a problem with it, I just think that it could, encourage the mentality, or basically normalize the mentality of, oh, it doesn't matter if you're musically talented. Like, who cares if somebody is musically talented when you can just pull up a loop that we might be able to generate in the future with AI. Like, we may not need musicians anymore. And that really fucking crushes the souls of people who want to use their skill to, make, new pieces of music.
Yeah. I mean, but that also falls down to like collage artwork too. I mean, isn't that the same thing? Grabbing pictures or ideas of something and just making it into a big thing that appeases you or the other viewer?
It depends on how much money is being made from the collage.
Yeah. Yeah. I love samples. Samples are a very unique
No,
way
samples are
to-
dope. I just don't want a love
I'll be
of
right back.
samples to turn into a jaded, dismissal of musicians.
100%. Yeah, definitely.
Just like, I don't like the idea of AI art replacing animators, which is something that like Hollywood people are like getting boners about. Like, it's shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's and it stinks because animators are very underpaid. And
They're super underpaid, dude.
Yeah. So,
Like, as is, and like we're constantly like, it sucks that as a society we're constantly looking for ways to like use technology to undercut creatives. It's just really unfortunate.
dude, and it's not even just dude, it seems almost every art is being underpaid, and that's why you even have the strikes for writers. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's
Well, it's like if you were gonna replace everything in society with robots, you'd probably start with the people who, aren't gung ho about guns and shit, like the creative people.
Yeah.
yeah. Just imagine your job is to write a TV show, and some guy next to you is like, dude, I just wrote the next 10 episodes with AI. What
Jesus.
the fuck, dude?
That'd be crazy. Oh, here, Carlos and I think Zach. Here's a drum and bass track I made before the stream started, or when the stream started.
Oh shit. This is like a loading level for Sonic the Hedgehog, and we're like on the,
Right.
the egg carrier.
Choose your character.
Choose your level.
You're just missing that like that high pitched female voice.
Dude, this is fire, dude. Oh, what's that?
Oh, it's me playing my APC. Here, I'll show you.
Okay.
I'm gonna switch the my camera so you can see it.
What's the drop?
Gonna swap over to the crotch cam. Look at that. Oh snap! Very ethereal.
Just like when Rouge shows up.
This also feels like Ape Escape. If you ever played that game, it had this.
No, I haven't. What is that? Ape Escape?
Yeah, yeah.
I've never heard of that
Run
shit.
around catching monkeys. But
An old PlayStation game, and it had very like futuristic music like this.
Bro, I'm telling you, in like the early 2000s, late 90s, music like this was like low-key taken off before it actually like took off. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. For sure, man.
Listen, we are the new generation.
We are the new generation, mate.
Boy. You become whatever you want to be. You are an individual. This is Remembered Amity.
Dude, this is good, dude. What? I didn't even know Glenn was freestyling that shit. Oh my god, dude. This sounds like a future desert level, dude. I love it.
What do you think about this next beat?
Hell yeah. Well, I think I'll end the stream there. But appreciate everybody who tuned in. Appreciate everybody who's been giving us support here on Radio. But yeah, GSR coming to you live every Monday night, 7 p.m. EST. Come kick it with us, man. We're just, talking music, making music, and creating memories, most importantly.
I'm back.
Fuck with us. Oh, Kyle, you're back just in time for us to leave. Awesome. Get your things,
yeah.
Kyle. We're leaving the stream.
Good job, Kyle. Good job, Kyle.
Oh man, I forgot I was on mute.
Jason was muted this whole time, guys. He had really important things to say and said, I don't want y'all to hear it, actually.
No, exactly. That's what happened.
But,
We are.
but yeah, I'm about to tune out. Y'all enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm going to end the stream here. But yeah, love y'all. Thanks for tuning in to Glenn Time Radio. We'll see y'all next week.
See y'all
7
next
p.m.
Monday.
Yes, yes, yes.
Balls.